To attract abundance, to get the money you want, the relationship you want, and the body you want, you first must feel the feeling of what that would be like before you manifest it. What if you found out that you had been lied to your entire life about how the game of life really works? How would that make you feel? And what if there was a way to truly attract everything into your life that you want so that you could have a life of total abundance in all areas of life and not just money? And what if you could be, do, and have anything that you want if you were able to figure out what it was that you were doing wrong? In this short video, we're going to explore the topic of abundance. Also, how we've all been programmed for slavery instead of success. The secret that has been kept from the public, what most of us have been doing wrong, and what you can do instead so that you can live the abundant life that you deserve. But first, before we discuss all of that, let's discuss the definition of abundance. The truth is, all that really matters is how you define it. Some may define abundance as having the ability to do what you want, when you want, with whom you want, with no restrictions because of the lack of money. That is a freedom abundance-based mindset. Others may define it as about having whatever physical thing that they want. That's the physical abundance-based mindset. Still others may define it from a more spiritual abundance mindset, where abundance is about relationships, the environment, having enough money to focus on their spiritual pursuits, enjoying planet Earth, being able to travel anywhere, anytime, etc., without worrying about money. The point is that there is nothing wrong with however you define it. Some may think that wanting to have material things is bad, or that money is a bad thing to want to manifest. But everything is just energy. Money is just stored energy. And just like with lots of other things in life, you can do a tremendous amount of good with money or bad. It has nothing to do with the money itself. But why do so many of us struggle to create abundance? The answer has been alluded to by many gurus, masters, authors, and leaders, but rarely spelled out in detail until now. You see, you were born with an abundant mindset. You were born expecting to get your mother's milk, expecting to be unconditionally loved, expecting to have your needs met, and expecting to be treated with respect, kindness, and generosity. In your tiny mind at the time, life was abundant. Ask and you received. But then our well-meaning parents who couldn't see our perfection, who didn't know how the world really worked, started to quote-unquote train us. In other words, brainwash us, program us, restrict us, unknowingly diminish our creativity, our zest and spark for life. They convinced us that the world was hostile, that you couldn't trust anyone, and that life was hard. They warned us not to dream too big, lest it didn't come true, leading to utter disappointment. They taught us that there were bad people out there who we couldn't trust, who would take advantage of us, and that we had to fight for everything that we wanted. But it wasn't our parents' fault. They were just doing the best that they could with what they had been taught, which is what their parents had been taught and their parents. But then we entered the dreaded educational system. The brainwashing and programming relentlessly continued and even got worse. All through the rest of our educational system experience, we were taught that we would not amount to anything unless we learned things that we didn't want to learn and did things that we didn't want to do. What were some of the things that were programmed into us just like a computer since childhood? Number 1, you were born not good enough and you have to prove worthiness. Number 2, the world is a competitive, difficult, scarce place, and there already isn't enough to go around for everyone. Number 3, you are small and insignificant. You're not important. Number 4, you are unable to heal yourself of anything, so you'll need drugs from Big Pharma in order to be healed. Number 5, you'll have to work hard your entire life at a job you'll probably hate. You didn't realize that you were born into the Matrix. You thought that was what reality was. We all did. We were all tricked. And just like Truman Burbank in the movie The Truman Show, you were tricked into believing all the lies about life, not knowing that it was all made up and that the answers were outside of the bubble of life that had been created all around you and all of us. Were they evil people who created this reality for us? The answer doesn't matter. Why? Because when you become aware of who you really are, the true power that you have, and how the world really works, you'll see that it does you no good to condemn anyone for what they have done. Your time is much better spent aligning yourself with who you really are so that you can attract all the abundance of life that you want. You see, everything is vibration. This is scientific known fact. Quantum physics proves it. Everything vibrates at the subatomic level. Everything. All subatomic particles vibrate, and they even pop in and out of existence. It's known that all matter vibrates at a certain frequency, but also our thoughts do too. And that's where it gets really, really interesting. Like attracts like. What you want vibrates at a certain frequency that you must learn to match, or else you'll never get it. Before we get into more detail about vibration, here is the description of the main problem that most of us have. We were raised to believe that we couldn't be happy unless we had X, Y, and Z. For example, I'll be happy when I get my dream job, we say. Or, I'll be happy when I finally get married, or find the right person, or buy my new home, or car, etc. It's the I'm not happy unless syndrome. I'm not happy unless I get this or that. But the way life works, the way creation works, the way it works to attract abundance into your life is the exact opposite. To attract abundance, to get the money you want, the relationship you want, and the body you want, you first must feel the feeling of what that would be like before you manifest it. When you create the feeling of what it would really be like to have the perfect mate by your side before they are actually there, then they will come. When you create the feeling of what it would really be like to have an abundant bank account before it's actually there, then it will come. When you create the feeling of what it would be like to have perfect health before it's actually there, then it will come too. Nothing is impossible for you. Stated more positively, everything is possible for you. Your perfect abundant life awaits you with just this simple paradigm shifting understanding that the feeling must come first. This is what all the spiritual gurus have taught us. And if you think they didn't, it's because their message was suppressed because people in power didn't want the average person to know. But now you do. But here's a new problem. It's not easy to undo a lifetime of programming. It's not easy to simply turn the abundance switch from off to on in an instant. You're going to have to do some work, some mental work. You're going to have to do some inner work to delete the old programming and insert the new one. The question is, how? There are many ways to do it, but one of the main ways is to meditate. Meditation is a great way to quiet your mind, to stop all the incessant negative thoughts and beliefs that we have. After all, a belief is just a thought that you keep on thinking over and over again. Change your thoughts, change your beliefs. Change your beliefs, change your life, your reality, the matrix. What else can you do? Affirmations are another great way to delete old programs, but there is a caveat to it. Something that most teachers skip. What is that? It's that you must recognize how you are feeling in the moment, how you truly feel. The universe isn't listening to the words that come out of your mouth. It listens to how you really feel. So if you are truly feeling depressed and you say, life is wonderful and I attract all the abundance in the world to myself, you won't believe it. Your subconscious mind won't believe it. It's too far of a gap between feeling depressed and feeling the joy that you need to feel. So what's the solution regarding this gap problem between feeling depressed to feeling abundant? Use affirmations gradually and slowly. Work your way up to feeling better and better through the thoughts you choose to think. In this example, if you're feeling depressed, instead of jumping too far out there, say to yourself, "This depressed feeling will soon pass. I have been here before and have gotten better. I can do it again." Start there and then say things that gradually feel better and better. Be your own best friend. Be your own life coach. Start deprogramming yourself by recognizing what the old programs were, what your old negative beliefs are, and then break them down by choosing to have better feeling thoughts regardless. You may be thinking now, well, I've thought positive things before, I've done this work before, and it never works. What am I doing wrong? The answer is that learning how to master how to create a reality isn't like earning a degree in college where once you get it, you have it forevermore. You have to keep on practicing it. You have to do it every day, all the time. You have to have days where you are at least 51% positive or more. That may seem easy to do, but most of us have automatic negative thoughts or ants in our brains that we may or may not realize are there. These ants can keep you from attracting abundance. From a practical standpoint, what more can you do? Here's another important point to all of this. When you think and feel a negative thought, you pinch off the abundance that was coming to you. When you condemn another for whatever reason, no matter who they are, you close off the abundance that was coming to you. There is a saying that goes, "Others may not deserve your good thoughts about them, but you do." In other words, by condemning others, you condemn yourself. None of us are separate, as we were taught. We are all in this thing called life together. And the most important thing you can do for yourself is to feel good anyway. Feel good even though your boss yelled at you. Feel good even though your mate broke up with you. Feel good even though you got into a car accident. It's not easy to do this. And of course, you're going to feel bad for a moment when any of the above happen, and that's okay. The trick is to snap out of it as soon as possible. It's hard to do, but it's the only way to break out of the matrix of scarcity, this false reality that a small group of powerful people created for us a long time ago. So, if we have been programmed to believe that we are insignificant, weak, and small, who are we really? Taking the negative programming list that was already discussed, let's turn it on its head. Number 1, you were born worthy and had nothing to prove. Number 2, the world can be a friendly, cooperative place, unlike the way that most parents taught us. Just as Einstein said, whether you believe the universe is hostile or whether it is a friendly place is the most important question you will ever ask. Number 3, you are bigger than life and more important than you can imagine. Number 4, you can heal yourself of anything. Number 5, you can attract abundance without working like a slave. The bottom line is, you are the furthest extension of source energy. You are a powerful spiritual being having a human existence. You are that which man calls God, a ray of God, the extension of God. You just may never have known it until now.